Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. This past week has obviously been very big for really just Call of Duty in general. Of course, we saw Season 6 go live for Modern Warfare and Warzone. We just saw the Cold War Zombies reveal yesterday, and overall, we've had a lot of new stuff to cover. And today, things are not slowing down whatsoever, as we actually got some brand new information on the major crashing issue that's been going on pretty much ever since Season 6 went live. Basically, Xbox, PS4, PC, you name it, Modern Warfare and Warzone have been crashing an absolute ton. We also got some news about a recent ban wave, and this past week we got some brand new intel in Warzone that reveals even more teasers and explanations regarding the nuke. So, as we go over everything today, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new here, we are currently less than 30,000 subscribers away from 600K. We are trying to aim and hit that before Black Ops Cold War releases. So if you want to stay on top of everything going on in Call of Duty, feel free to hit that subscribe button and maybe even turn on those post notifications. Anyways, let's start first with this week's intel, as it is another pretty spicy one when it comes down to it, because it tells a lot about the future of Warzone and what that has in store for us. As we know, the idea of a nuke going off has kind of been, I guess, lingering in the background pretty much ever since we were first able to get inside of bunker number 11, and in the time since then, the likelihood of a nuke going off has gone up immensely. Now, this week we got the Secret Trails intel mission, and the main description here says, find out what Z has been moving through the tunnels. And as we know from the last intel that we covered, we found out that Imran Zakhaev and also Perseus actually put the missile underneath the Warzone map a while back, and now Viktor Zakhaev is trying to finish what his father started by actually launching this nuke and just causing what I would consider to be ultimate chaos. So as always, the first objective this week is to find the location in the message that Ghost sent you. This is always the easiest step each week, and when you view this intel, you can see that Ghost coin sitting in the entrance to a tunnel. And based off the angle of those downtown buildings in this image, we can tell that this is the tunnel right next to the hospital area. So for this one, all you have to do is simply head on into Plunder or regular Battle Royale. Personally, I would always recommend Plunder just in case you die. You can always just respawn and go for it once more. But head on over to the tunnel, and right in the very entrance area, you're going to find the coins sitting on the ground. So go ahead and grab that, wait for Ghost to appear on your screen, that way you know you're all caught up, it's all good to go, and then you're on to step number 2. Also, quick side note, sometimes, unfortunately, the intel can actually glitch out. If you can't grab it, I would recommend trying it again at least one more time, and if it doesn't work then, unfortunately, it's just bugged for you, and as of now, there is no immediate fix. But moving on to step number 2 for this week, this time the objective says metro alarms may have been tripped. And when you view this intel, you see a note that reads, the trains are running. Z taking material underground could have tripped alarms. Check Barricade Shopping Metro. So for this piece of intel, we need to head on over to the Shopping District Metro Station, and that's going to be located just over by the Carnival area with the Ferris wheel on the east side of the Promenade area. And from there, you want to run down into the actual metro station itself. Head on into the little side room, and on the back desk with all the computers, you can find intel number 2 waiting for you. So collect that one and you're good to move on. So getting into step 3, this one says a radiological threat was detected, and when you view this one, you see a computer screen regarding the metro station that says system was incorrectly shut down, and we can see that all but one of the metro stations is actually complete, as the Verdansk Center station has a radiological alert active. So this one is basically telling us to go to the metro station over at the stadium and pretty much just investigate. So for this one, it is essentially a rinse and repeat of number 2. Head on down into the stadium metro, and in the side room here in the back corner, you're going to find this piece of intel. Then getting into step number 4, this one says a shipment came from the radiological lab. And when you view this intel, you see a paper that reads emergency procedures, radiological. 1. Shut down transit to affected station. 2. Inform supervisor. 3. Quarantine the area until containment team arrives. Follow up, check with hospital radiological lab for scheduled shipments. Room 301 near reception. So this time around, we are headed on over to the hospital area, and here you want to run into the main building, the shorter one there. Head on up to level 3, then just past the reception area before the longer hallway, there is this sort of larger room that has windows overlooking the center area of the hospital area itself. And here, you're gonna find a very small red radioactive bin. That is where this piece of intel can be found. Now, moving on to step number 5, this one says a secret code could open new doors. And when you view this piece of intel, you see a paper that reads H6 with the code of 49285-163. This is actually referencing the secret room over at the farmland area that we originally got access to back during the initial pawn takes pawn Easter egg. So for this one, we are headed back there. This, of course, is the same exact code as before, so approach that keypad, enter 49285-163. Then inside of the actual secret room in the corner, you can find this intel and you'll be on to step 6. So intel number 6 this week is the final searching one we have to do. After this one, you'll have this intel completed, and then we get the big reveal for this week. But this one reads, secrets locked in a vault. And when viewing this one, we see a paper that reads, Committee for State Security, meeting between Z and Perseus. Z, whispers of support in the capital. Perseus, the snakes are talking. Z, we need them. Perseus, for now, all corruption must end for a greater Russia. Z, the West is corruption. Perseus, agreed, it is decided. Z will tell the snakes. In transcript. Then we see some lockbox keys, and on the bottom it says, Notes, Z concurs Perseus is a capable weapon against the West. Express concerns about ultimate objective. So this intel actually needs us to go over to the downtown area inside of the bank. Then you need to head down into the vault in the very bottom, and on the back wall, you can find the final intel piece for this week. Then after that, you've technically completed the Secret Trails intel. However, we do get one final reveal in Objective 7 that reads, Nuclear material has been weaponized. And when you view this one, you see the warhead that we originally found back in bunker number 11. It says, Isotopes weaponized, dispersal units are ready. AKA, Victor is ready to unleash these warheads on Verdansk at pretty much any given moment, indicating the Nuke Event is getting closer and closer. Now, outside of this week's intel, we also got a few extra updates this week alongside the 1.27 update. So getting into this info, initially Infinity Ward tweeted out saying, a playlist update is now rolling out across all platforms that addresses players previously not dying to the gas while riding on the subway apparently. Then they also adjusted the spawns in the Season 6 Mosh Pit playlist. Apparently there were some out of bounds spawns there that kind of caused some issues. They actually increased the drop rate of the minigun, and they also decreased the drop rate of the Foresight killstreak, which spawns in the bunkers. Then earlier yesterday, they also tweeted saying, a patch is now rolling out that resolves this issue across all platforms, and this is in reference to the crashing issues that have been popping up like crazy, really ever since Season 6 launched. It felt like nearly every single game, or maybe even every other game, ended in my game crashing or blue screening, so that should now be fixed. We shouldn't have to experience that any longer, and safe to say, I am very glad that was addressed pretty quickly because obviously that is a pretty game-breaking bug. And then one final thing I wanted to mention today is the fact that earlier on this week, there was actually another pretty big ban wave that went live. Reportedly, over 20,000 accounts were banned that were using the engine-owning cheat. And Charlie Intel and Vice both reported on this. They said Activision basically confirmed that, yeah, we found this engine-owning cheat, we sort of debunked it, we detected it, and now anyone who was using that ended up getting banned. So I would say hopefully this becomes a more common thing. We start to see this happen even more where they're sort of detecting all these various cheats, and ultimately, hopefully, an anti-cheat gets enforced to sort of counter the absurd amount of cheaters currently in multiplayer in Warzone. To be honest, I'm not sure if that's something we'll actually see before Cold War releases. Obviously, once Cold War does release, Warzone is going to have a massive update to go along with that. And without an anti-cheat moving into year 2, Warzone is really going to struggle to be the best game it could possibly be. Those cheaters absolutely plague the game right now, and ideally, we can have that resolved in the future. But yeah, there you have it. With all of that being said, that is effectively how to complete this week's new intel and what's going on with the crashing and the cheaters within Season 6. And that is going to wrap things up for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here, if you want to help us reach 600K before Black Ops Cold War comes out, feel free to subscribe to stay on top of the latest Call of Duty news, intel, updates, and pretty much everything else in between. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code WhosImmortal for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, and Control Freak products. All of those links can be found down in the description below, and once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.